We got Zach Starr here along with,
I'm Iron Jake.
and we're here to discuss open market operations and what the Fed does to control the money supply. So the Fed sets and controls the money supply, and its main goal is to achieve stable prices and full employment. They do this through monetary policy.
Monetary policy is when the banks want to increase or decrease the money supply. So to carry out monetary policy, they do something called open market operations. This is when either the Fed buys or sells bonds, also known as securities, to the public in order to increase or decrease the money supply.
We will now show how an open market operation has a ripple effect throughout the economy. So our example is, suppose the economy is in a recession, the Fed wants to stimulate the economy. So what open market operation would they implement?
Well, Zach Starr, let me tell you, they're going to implement an open market purchase. This is where the Fed is buying bonds back from the people, which is allowing money to be put in the people's hands, allowing for more the supply of money to go up.
All right, I got a couple more questions for you. So what happens to the quantity of money when the Fed purchases bonds? Also, what happens to the nominal interest rate, and what happens to the quantity of money demanded? All right, we will pause the video and get back to you.
All right, this graph shows your answer. This is an example of what happens when an open market purchase is conducted. Here is your first equilibrium. Now, after an open market purchase has taken place, your money supply will automatically increase. What happens when your money supply increases is your nominal interest rate will decrease, and your quantity of money will increase, along with your money demanded will also increase. This equates to a new equilibrium on the money demand curve. Now, what happens to the supply of loanable funds, real interest rate, and quantity of investment?
And we're back. All right, to answer Iron Jake's question, I've graphed this up here, and this illustrates that when the nominal interest rate falls, this increases the supply of loans. When the supply of loans increases, this shifts the supply of loanable funds to the right. By shifting that to the right, this causes the long-term real interest rate to decrease, which then increases the investment due to an increase of the quantity of loanable funds. All right, now we will take it back to Iron Jake, and I will ask him what happens to aggregate demand, what happens to the real GDP, and the price level.
All right, let's go on to answer Zach Starr's question. Since we have an increase in aggregate expenditure, this will cause an increase in the aggregate demand. It will not shift all the way up to the potential GDP line until the multiplier effect kicks in. When the multiplier effect kicks in, you get your aggregate demand curve to shift up to that new equilibrium point. This new equilibrium point causes an increase in the price level and an increase in the real GDP. Now, as you can see, conducting an open market purchase is going to allow your country to be more stable and more productive in the future, operating at potential GDP.
Thank you for listening to us talk about open market operations. Signing off, I'm Zach Starr.
I'm Iron Jake.
Until next time.